Hello students. Now coming to the third program. So we will see what is the third program does. The third program again has two parts. The first part is explain you exception handling. Okay, how to handle exceptions by using try and catch clause. Okay, so now we will see how it works. So how to handle exceptions. So here there is a class named as division. It has a main program and variables A, B and results. Now here we are using a scanner to take inputs from the keyboard. The scanner object, we are first creating a scanner object input. Okay, for the class scanner, the input is the object. Next, what we are going to tell the user is enter the two integers. The first integer is A, the second integer is B. Then we are using a try block. There are two blocks here. One is try block and one more is catch block. So why it is actually needed? So now all of you know that if you divide a number by 0, if you attempt to divide a number by 0, then it is divide by 0 error. Then an exception is raised. So when an exception is raised, when an error occurs in between a program, then the program is terminated abnormally. Okay, students, observe carefully. I am telling the advantage of using try and catch clause. So when this particular line generates an error, suppose your b value is 0, then it generates an error. So when an error is generated, the further statements in the program is not being executed. The program is terminated abnormally. So we don't want this to happen. Even though if in any part of your program, if an error or exception is raised, that error should be caught, and after catching that error, the remaining code in the program should be executed successfully, and the program should completely executed successfully. Okay, even though if any part of your code has some errors. So that type of code which you might think that it may generate error during runtime, you put it in a try block. So a part of the code which you think that it might create errors or generate exceptions, that part of the code you can put it in a try block. So suppose if it raises an exception, then that will be caught by your catch block. So that will be, and then since the error is caught by the catch block, the remaining part of your code in the program will be executed successfully without any interruption. And suppose you don't use try and catch block and don't handle your exceptions, then when the exception raises, at that particular point of time, the program will stop or terminate abnormally, will not proceed to the next statement. So to overcome this problem, they have come out with try and catch block, which is used for exception handling. So that is what, it's a very simple program. Okay, and if at all you try to divide by 0, it raises an exception which will be caught by this catch block, and it will just print divide by 0 error. So this is your program 3A, very simple program. Now coming to the next part of your third program, that is part B. The program, actually what is the program is multi-threaded. It explains the concept of thread. So here we are using 3 threads. The duty of the first thread is to create a random number. So let us assume the number 2 is being created. The duty of the second thread is to find the square of that number. So 2 into 2, 4. The duty of the third thread is to find the cube of that number. That is 2 into 2 into 2. That is 8. So this is the third program, part B. So in Java, there are 2 methods of creating threads. So one is by using runnable interface, and one more is by, I'll show you, one more is by using the extending the thread class. So threads can be created in Java by using 2 methods. One is by extending the thread class, and one more is by using the runnable interface. So since you should understand both the methods, I am creating second and third thread by using runnable interface, and then I am creating the first thread by extending the thread class. Even the first thread I can implement by using runnable interface, no problem at all. And even here, the second thread and the third thread, I can extend the thread class and create it, no problem. But since you should understand both the methods of thread creation, I have explained both the methods here. So now we will see what the program is doing here. So here there is a thread, second thread, which implements the runnable interface. And now here it has a variable x1. Okay, variable x1. So here we have a constructor, which constructor, the x is nothing but the random number created by the first thread. Observe carefully, x is nothing but the random number created by the first thread, and that comes and stores in the variable x1. And then here every runnable interface will have a run block where the operation that has to be executed by the thread is put. So in this, the operation is that the second thread operation is to find the square of the random number generated by the first thread. So the random number generated is x, that is stored in x1. So here the second thread calculates the square of that x1 into x1. So this is the working of second thread. So coming to the third thread. So here again the third thread implements the runnable interface, and it takes the random number generated by the first thread, and here there is a constructor which stores the random number in the variable x2. After storing it, the operation that has to be executed by the third thread is put inside the run block, and the operation is finding the cube of that number, that is the random number generated by the first thread. So if the number generated is 2, here 2 into 2 into 2, that is the cube of that number is being calculated. Next, that is the duty of the third thread. Now coming to the first thread, in this first thread, we are using a random number generator function, and we are creating an object. First, we are creating an object for that, for random number generation, for the random class. We have an object. Next, we have a try block. So inside this try block, we have a for loop. So here I have used I is equal to 0 to I less than 5. Means 5 random numbers will be generated, and for that 5 numbers, the square and the cube will be calculated. Okay. So let us assume the first random number generated is 2. So the square is 4, the cube is 8. And the second random number generated is 3. Like this, 5 random number will be generated. And those random number will be anything within the limit 0 to 100. So here there is a limit. So the random number generated will be anything between 0 to 100. Suppose you can change this limit also. Suppose instead of 100 you put as 50. The random number will be chosen anything from between 0 to 50. So after you select the random number, you store it in a variable called as number. Then what you do is call the second thread. So you start the second thread. When you start the second thread, what happens? It calculates the square of that number. After that, you call the third thread. Once you call the third thread, it calculates the cube of that number. Then you are using a delay process here. As 5 random, here it will generate 5 random numbers. Since 5 random numbers square and cube is being calculated, after each number there is a delay. Otherwise the output will be just displayed in a fraction of seconds. So the user could see the output, we are including a delay condition here. So after each number, few seconds of delay is being inserted. Afterwards the second number square and cube root is being calculated. Next, there is a catch block. So if at all any errors is being generated in this try block, if any error is being generated, that is caught by the catch block. And then coming to the main class, the class is called as multi-thread. Here it has a main function, and in the main function, our duty is to create an object for the thread, first thread, class first. Class first has got what? See, class first has nothing but first thread. The first thread in turn calls second thread and third thread. So, but we have to start the first thread. No, then only the first thread will call second thread and third thread. So here we are including code for starting the first thread. So this is your program third B. So I'll show you the program in detail once more. So this is your program third B. The first thread creates a random number. The second thread calculates the square of it. The third thread calculates the cube of that number. And your program third A, as you know, this exception handling using try and catch block. So that completes your third program.